Good morning, it's Monday, and I'm back for another map build. Um, Hopefully, if interruptions don't keep interrupting me, uh, the joys of looking after your parents. Okay, I think I'm all set up here. Alright, so this is what I made last time. So I'm just actually checking this map, because I need to know where these doors go, because I'm doing them a little differently on the underground levels. I'm actually putting them here, whereas I think on the top ones, I did them here in the surface building. I did them one block over. So I've got to remember 2 blocks, door, 2 blocks, door. Okay, so let's close this. Start by making some folders. So ground, floor, walls, features. And then we take them all, put them in order. So I want my features on top, followed by my walls, ground on the bottom. There we go. Everything's in order. Everything is good with the world. Okay, so this lower level I'm using the Necrotech map tiles. So let's jump in here. So I usually like to start by blocking out the walls. So let's start doing that. Now have I got my... Yep, snaps on. So there we go. Let's just start putting the outer walls in, because this is a map card, it's meant to tile between other map cards. I need to have the doors on the edges match up if I put another, card beside this one. Oh dear, I got a barking doggy in the background. Hang on. I think I've got delivery people. Back in a moment. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Looking after my sister's doggo while she's at work. And unfortunately, this little puppy dog has a thing about delivery drivers. They must all die! So she goes Burko whenever she hears a delivery van going past. And we just had a delivery van go past. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, so I will break this up like so, because I had an idea. I'm going to do kind of like a maze in this area that the players would have to navigate this maze to get through this section. Because every evil lair has to have a maze. Here we go. And up there. So I'll go and put in the doorways in a moment, but I want to get these done first, because the outside walls define the middle, or sort of, it blocks out how everyone gets into the space, and passes, passes from map card to map card. This one goes over here. Then we do over this side. Oops. Didn't mean to double click. Okay, go up, grab a doorway. Oop, not dead ends. Need the cornerstones and doorways. This is what I'm after. Okay, so need these ones because they go up there. Whoops. So how's your Monday been? Getting ready for the week ahead? Deciding what you're going to do? I hope you've got lots of projects planned. I know I do. I've got the... I'm working on the next part in my adventure series called The Trader's Way. And so I might make this into... do what I did previously. I'll do quarters. Make this map into quarters. Oh, I feel like I've got a froggy throat. I hope I'm not coming down with something. Okay, so assuming I've got, these are quarters. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes, I'm working on the next part in my adventure series, or adventure path, would be a good way of saying it. I put this here. And I'm building the 3D map assets so that I can use them time and time again to build different parts of the adventure that sort of use the same parts. Because this adventure module that I'm working on at the moment is called The Trader's Way. And it's about... oh, I want to put that one. It's about a large built-up road called the Trader's Way, which is a major thoroughfare for traders to get around the world of the cube. They use it to travel between the different kingdoms, because trade is mostly facilitated or powered, would be a better way of saying it, by the gnome kingdoms. they're sort of like the powerhouse that runs the economy of the world of the cube, because everybody's sort of like trying to you know, supply them with the materials that they want. Let's put a dead end here. The materials that they want for their experiments, because they're basically a society of artificers. They build all manner of artifacts. So because they do this all the time, they use up a lot of resources, and a lot of the communities in the world of the cube pretty much just exist to supply them with, you know, copper, like raw copper, metals, you name it. So they are pretty much the industrial powerhouse in the world of the cube, and everybody else sort of supports that by supplying them with raw materials to get paid, which then, you know, allows them to survive in the world of the cube. So I'm just building, like, I'm going to turn each of these squares into a little mini maze. So what I might do here, I might actually change this. I might go back to pick. There we go. I'll pick this one up. Get rid of it. Because what will I put there? Or am I going to... No, I want to make that into a dead end. Dead end. Do. Oh no, actually, hang on. Control Z. There we go. So put it back. I'll make this turn around. So let's get rid of that. Go back up here and put in one of these. Yeah, so the gnome kingdoms are pretty much the, you know, everybody's trading with the gnomes. Do that. Whoops. Now that's the problem of using this picker. Is you can pick up tiles that you didn't mean to pick up. There we go. Okay, so we go back to cornerstones, and this, yeah, I'll use this one. This one goes in here. So that'll now map to the next tile, which will be here. And I'm going to make them sort of like squiggly go through here. So, yeah, the gnome kingdoms, they drive commerce in the world simply by, you know, they're constantly doing invention. They're building stuff all the time. I do that and make it come down this way. So I'm going to need this one to go there, and then a straight wall section above it. There we go. Now I'm just going to check that all of these are going into my... Nope, they're in my floors folder. Not meant to be in there. Should be up here in my walls folder. And there goes the doggo again. Come on, puppy. Hang on, let me just mute myself and go and get her. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Little doggo's barking at everything like mad. Makes it a little bit difficult to try and live stream when you've got a dog barking her brains out. Doing a woof at everything that goes past. You'd think her parents would have taught her better. But no. Just like my mother's dog, she's a pampered little mutt. But she's cute. She's normally that, it's delivery drivers. I don't know why. It's specifically delivery vans that she goes Burko over. Delivery vans and postal drivers. I don't know why. You know, any other van, car, no, doesn't. You could rob the house and she wouldn't bat an eyelid. But delivery vans, she's got to kill him. Strange little doggo. So if we come around here, there we go. So I'm going to put pit traps in here. All good dungeons deserve a pit trap. Pit traps are a staple of dungeon design. Oops. Let's pop that down there. I'm probably going to need it. Like, yeah, I'll put it there. There we go. But as I was saying, yes, pit traps are a staple of all dungeons. Every dungeon, you've got to have a pit trap. It's not a Dungeons and Dragons without pit traps. Now, how can I do? So I come down here. So I can put a dead end there. No. Make it wiggle around here. Yeah. So we'll get rid of this one. You are gone. Replace that one with a dead end. Goes there. And let's go back to the top of my walls folder. Okay, so that's where we'll need this one. It will go there. So we're then going to come around here. So we need a corner piece there. Oh, no, wrong folder. We need one of these. It's that one. So go there. So we need it there again. Like that. Then we need a straight piece. Or actually, we actually need another corner, which is that one. To go there. So straight piece here. Like that. And then we're actually going to need a corner piece here. So let's get rid of that piece. And come back up the top of our folder. And that should be... So our squiggly little bit of maze with some dead ends. So let's drop in some floor and some pit traps. I hope I've done pit traps for this set. I think I did. Yep, there they are. So let's put them in now. Put them in first. So let's lock down that. Okay, so let's put a pit trap here. Put another one here. So that way you have to get over. You have to get over these pit traps to get through here. And let's be nasty. Let's put one. Oops. Let's put one here. So that way people think that they have to get through this section. But it goes through to a dead end. They'll never know what hit them. Then, so let's use these tiles. These half and halves. And just stagger them throughout the area. So sort of doing a checkerboard pattern. Oops. So I'm going to switch back to the move mode. So that way I'm not picking up the layers that are on top of the floor. And that one should go there. That one should go there and here. There we go. So then I'll fill in these spaces with these other ones. So it alternates. Straight, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. And it should create a interesting looking floor pattern. So we've still got our map grid, but, you know, it's alternating throughout there. So where was I about the cube? Talking about the Trader's Way. Yeah, so so making 3D models of the Trader's Way, because it's a big embankment, so it's a big, chunky, built-up road. It's about 20 feet wide. Runs around the world of the cube. So about like if you're looking at the top of the cube, it's about 10 blocks in from the edge of the world. Since this world actually does have an edge that you can fall off. So it's about 10 blocks in from the edge of the world. Runs all the way around the world, goes to the 4 major gnome cities, and that's our section of floor done. Excellent. So let us lock off that so that we don't accidentally move stuff. Come back up here. Unlock this so we can start moving stuff, and we'll start to work in here. So this one actually, you know, oh, can't get through there. Oh, have to jump over there. Oh, jump over to there. Run through here. Jump over to here and there. So, and then that gets you through. So it's a good little bit of maze. And I'll do the same thing in each of these, slightly different. So I might actually put a room here. So I might switch to the pick brush, pick up this, and let's get rid of it. same over here. And this one, and this one. If I'm going to be doing something like a little roomy type thing. Now, oops, let's go back to move. Make certain we're at the top of our folder. Okay. Go back to our walls. Floors, walls. Okay, so let's make this little room first. So there's a little room like that. Then we'll build a wall along the side, like so, and then put a little end cap on that wall. So yeah, so I've been building as 3D elements, and I've done it as modular pieces, so I can build different road sections for different maps later on. So hopefully it'll be quite useful. Unfortunately, it's led to taking a while to make what I was planning, which is a bit of a pain. Let's do that. So then let's come back along, like so. This is going to require cornerstone, and I need this one, and then a cornerstone for the edge of the doorway. Oh no, actually I might. Hang on. Pick. I might actually use the square sections here, these ones, like that, because then I can put an actual door in there, so it is an actual room, just like that, and then a flat section there. Like so, like that. So I might jump up to my features, put the door in now. Where are we? Door overlays. So let's just use. Do we want like a hydraulic door? Yeah, let's try that. There we go. So we've got a hydraulic door in there. Something different. Oh, we'll need a piece to close off that. Which will be this piece. There we go. So that's that. Okay, so now we will need to come sort of squiggly around here. Oh, I do need a cornerstone. Up here, right there. So I could come back around, because I want to do all sort of wiggly bits. Put that there, and then a corner and a corner. So this piece. No, I need this. That's the one thing I don't like about this brush, where you pick up anything under that's, under the brush tip, is you can end up grabbing things that you didn't mean to grab. There we go. So we make it come around. Then we can put another little square room here. So let's do that. And then we need where is it? Where is it? There as it is. So yeah, I've been designing the 3D designing these pieces so that I can use them to create other maps and have them as modular pieces, so I can sort of design different elements, or sort of, you know, use the road in different ways. But it has taken a while to do because I am still, oops, edit, undo, I am still teaching myself Blender, which I must say, I am quite amazed how good for a free program that Blender is. For a free graphic 3D design program, it is really good. Like I am quite impressed with how good it is. Now we need to spin this. Oh, hello. Did my pen driver just crash on me? Oh, I think it just had a hiccup. Clockwise, there we go. Yep. There's another little mechanical door. So as the players come through here, they'll encounter these rooms, and they'll be like, "Oh, how do we get in? Can we get in?" So let's get. Yep. So I've accidentally put some stuff in where it shouldn't be. Okay, that's where it should go. So let's turn off this pick mode, just be regular move. Yep, again, that's not where it should be. Okay, there we are. We're good now. So we need a cornerstone right there, and another one there. And then we need a corner. There we go. So you can come around. Now we'll need a cornerstone here. Which is that one. There we go. Now, how are we going to do down here? Because that's the exit, but I kind of want to go like this around. So I might do a dead end. So let's put let's make it a dead end, which is actually a cupboard, or it could be a cupboard. So I'll put a door into it. Like that. So we'll go back up here, and we will need this one to come around like this. And we will need, where is it? This. Now this has got to go here, but I need to take out that. So, go back to the pick brush for a second, grab that, delete, turn off the pick brush, or actually, turn it back on, grab that, and then turn off the pick mode, and then put this piece coming around here, and this one. Oh, we've already got that there, so we don't need this one. Oops. Like that. So I then need to do that edge there. There we go. So we'll need a flat piece, flat piece, flat piece. There. Just there. In there, and one there, which should be down here. Here we go. Like that. So now I need to put in little corners. So grab this piece, and cap off there. So I'll use it again down the bottom, just in there. Then I need this one, right there. There we go. Oh, and I need a little piece here, which can be this one. Yeah, and that's that. So again, we will lock off our walls, unlock our floors, jump into our floors, and put in some pit traps. So whereabouts will these be good? So let's put one. So I'm putting them in the intersections. So here, so that way getting to that will be difficult. And let's put one here. So they shouldn't be too, they shouldn't be too hard to get past. But parties that are not careful will have trouble. Oh no, I'm falling down a hole. That's what we want to hear. Come from these rooms, come from these pit traps. Players falling down and going, oh no, I'm falling. So I'll just do the corridor with the standard tiles, and then I'll use in these little rooms the tiles that are like broken up into 3 pieces. That way it gives a little bit of a difference. Subtle difference. Actually, I might do that with that little chamber. Since it's going to be a cupboard. A cupboard in an alien building. Okay, so now I'll use these these ones that are broken up into 3 sections. Actually, I'll put it there first. That should be that. Oh, got one to do over here. Like so, and then the last one. Boom, there we go. So that's that section done. With some little rooms. Actually, I'll put a little door just here. So where is... So I'll come out of my floor, back up to my features, back to my door overlays, and grab a door. Rotate it around and then just pop it in. Actually, I might move it back a bit. About there. There we go. So this little, it's like a little cupboardy type thing. So let's look at up here, and I'll just take a moment to have a swig of some orange juice. Nom 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 nom. Lovely orange juice. Okay, so how are we going to do this room? Because I want to do the same thing, a little mazy type bit, like get you from here to here. So let's grab some walls. Now I'm going to need to use the pick mode again, because I'm not going to be able to use that and that. So I might drop in a corner straight off. Oops, what's going on? Why can't I grab you? Oh, it's because it's locked. So if you don't know, in the palette, the layers palette, these little options here, so this little lock, you can lock different features. So you can lock the transparency, it's visual, whether you can see it or not. So, turning off that whole layer or folder of bits. But this one here prevents it from being moved, which can be quite good if you've got a folder, for example these walls, and you don't want to accidentally move them, but you're operating on something that's below them, like, maybe I'm doing the floor. So you can lock off the folder, and then nothing in that layer will be moved, which is very helpful. But I want to move everything in this folder now. So having it locked off is not helpful. Okay, and I'm just going to run back to the top of the folder. There we go. So that's my entrance there. I'm going to do the same thing here. Make it turn around. So we're going to need this one. This little end cap. There. And again, this here. Which means I can turn this into another little room like that, which I shall do now. So it's going to mean we're not going to need that straight piece or that straight piece. We are going to need some corners like that, and like this. But we could just leave it open. Yeah, let's just, so let's just try leaving it open, and maybe leave it open, put a big room in here, so this sort of comes down around. Yeah, I'm digging that. So we'll turn big mode off for the moment, and do this. So we'll need to make it come back around. Because we put a bit trap here. Pit traps for days. They're going everywhere. Oops, that's not snapped into the right place. So we want to have a room here, so which will mean we need to put some walls around it. But I might use some of these carved pieces. Here we go. These pieces that have sort of little symbols on them. And if I slide down here, no, I need up here. Here we go. Like that. Then becomes a question of how am I going to do this? Do I just want to leave it open like that? Although I think that would look cool, I kind of want to force them to have to go over the pit trap that I'm going to put there. So let's grab some cornerstones and just cap that. Just like that. Put a door here and a door here. Let's put an end stone up the top there. So we need this one here. Like that. And then we need to do that. Put a doorway there, I think. And then we need to have a corner here. Like that. And same thing over this side. Like that. Doorway here. That's, where's our cornerstones? Like so. Pardon me. Now this is where I think we do this. carved pieces on the inside. Oh, what's the matter, puppy? Did I close the door? Did I close the door so that you can't bark at the cars? Hey? I think I'm gonna have to let somebody out. Hey, come here. Oops. And we need a corner right there. So and it's that one. I think that is our room. I better hang on. I better go let this doggo out. Let me just mute myself. And I'm back. The delights of babysitting doggos. There we go. Okay, so we just need to put another mechanical door in there. So let's go back up to our features. Grab our door overlays. And let's do one that's open. Like that. So that way we can see, yeah, oh, it's an open door. Okay, so how do we do the floor for this room? So let's lock off this and lock off this one. The floor is unlocked. So let's jump back to our floor. Here we go. And we'll use some of our big sections of floor. Like, let's use this 1x3. Let's put it over here. Then we'll use one of our 2x1. That should make it nice and interesting. Then we'll do the same thing over here. Oh no, actually we're going to have a pit trap here. So let's pop our pit trap in. Yoink, right there. So that way they have to get over it. And then so we'll use our standard standard tiles. Oops, that just bounced out. Oh, there we go. Almost done on this quadrant. Oops, that just bounced out again. There we go. That section is done. All the cornerstones are in place. Nothing looks... Yep, so they come in here, around here, jump over here, and along through there. Or they could go in and investigate whatever is in that room. So we're going down to this one. So let's lock off our floor and go to our walls again. And a bit more orange juice. Num num num. Ah, lovely. Okay, so how could we do down here? Because again, I want to force people to sort of wiggle through a maze. So I'm going to go back to the pick mode, grab that, delete that bit, and delete this bit. So I just want to make this wriggle all over the place. So let's start with this piece. Change modes. There we are. Oh, I better make certain that we are in walls. Excellent. In the right folder. I'll put a cornerstone in. Okay, so we come along here to here. We might come along here. So I'll just use these passageway sections to quickly fill in this section. Just like that. Then I will need to grab a cornerstone, just do that. Whoops. Put that back. And then a cornerstone just for here. Like that. So I might come along here, come down here, and then wriggle like that. You know, pretty simple. passageway. And use these pieces. Like so. So it comes down here. And then wriggle around. So let's turn on pick mode again, pick up that, and delete, because we want to have a turn. Like that. And then we want to have another turn here. Just like that. And then we need to have a little cornerstone right there. Just like that. Everything deserves a good maze. This should be a good little dungeon crawl maze. Drop back up here. Whoops. That I wanted to grab. See, that's why it is such a function, such a good function. It's so useful, but it can just, you can just end up picking up stuff that you don't want to pick up. Then let that sound wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. So we'll need this one over here. And this one in there. So we'll need a flat bit. There we go. Now we'll need some more flat bits down there. I should have used some more of the ready built corridor sections there, but I didn't. I did not. Now a corner one. A corner piece. Just there. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Which means we will need this down here, and this one just here, like that, and then a corner here, which means I actually need to take that piece out. So grab the pick mode, delete that bit, turn pick mode off. Probably sounds like I'm saying pig mode. Hee hee. Just like that. There we go. So I think all we need to do is put the corners on. So it's a simple little, you know, wiggle. A simple wiggly maze. goes there, and that. Oops, no, I gotta do the. So it goes there, so I gotta do here. And then that will be the last bit. There. So that should be all of our wall section done. Yep, just a simple little wiggle to get through. It's obviously where you would chase down the players with some sort of creature. Well, that's what I would do. So where's an interesting place? So I think here. And here. Should we put bit traps here? No, I think that's a little bit too obvious. Like that. Just using these large 2x1 sections to create a bit of, bit of difference. There we go. Might use this long 3x1 over here, like that. Just like that. And yeah, it's looking good. It's coming together. Yeah, and that should be the last piece. There we go. And we're done. Sort of, little maze section, which forces people to go round. Because they won't be able to just go from here to here, here to here. They've got to go around, around, around. Yeah. Okay, so let's just lock all this off. No ground, and I'll save it. So we go File, Save As, into my projects hard drive, into Dropbox. Where are my projects? Where are we? Everything's upside down. That's why. Where's my endless dungeon crawl? There it is. So this is the underground structure. So this is number 3. Save. And then I'm going to save out a WebP. Yep, just like that. Export. Export. There we go. So, let's make another one. So, I'm going to close that one. Go File, New. Go to my 10x10 adventure map template and open that. Ooh, it's going with a black background. No. Just want that. We'll turn on the grid. Snap to grid. And view. Zoom. Image to window. There we go. Create some folders. So, ground. Floor. Walls. And features. Okay. Because they were created as nested folders, I just drag them out, and then I want features, walls, floor, and ground as the order. Now I've got an interesting idea that I just had. I might try something. I'm going to make a pit. A muddy pit. Using the wilderness. I think we've got rocky road, river, concrete footpath. I think might be in dungeon map tile 6. Court, dirt, muddy ground. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Yes. This is what I'm thinking of. So I might do a section of muddy ground that, for some reason, this place is built around, over the top of. So I'll just put down in my ground layer a section of this ground. You know, at the minimum, it'll create an interesting feature tile. So just like this. Like the idea for this section, I'm not going to use that with that right beside it. The idea for this section actually came from, I was just thinking, in The Lord of the Rings, where Sauron's making his Uruk-hai, he has that he's like growing them in pods in mud. So I just thought maybe it'd be interesting to have some steps going down to this muddy bit. So let's make some steps. So this is going to have to go into our, whoops. I think my poor old Wacom is slowly giving up on me, which is rather sad. I've gotten so much use out of this Wacom tablet. stairs going down to here. So these need to go into the floor because I want these over the top of my ground. And we have steps like this. So we could even do water over the top of it, just like I did last week. But let's put in the steps for now. Like that. So the steps coming down, there's like a muddy area underneath. And then, so we come up back to our floor sections. So put so I'll do a checker pattern of these floor tiles. Around here. Like that. So now I've got to go to the horizontal split. See how they've all got a split? So I've just done all the vertical ones now. I've got horizontal ones going between them. Like so. I'm just thinking I might do interesting little rooms. Little rooms all around the outside. So let's knock that off. Okay, so we'll jump into the walls. And again, I've got to block out how the walls map between each other. But I might do... no, I won't use these ones for a change. I'll use these ones, like this. Then, maybe our passageways. So maybe. So this will be something interesting. So they should be there, like that. Have it come through. Like so. So the gallery rooms. There is a way. There, you know, we'll try. Like that. So it's coming through. So little rooms on the corners. Yeah, oh. This is sort of what I'm thinking of. So that'll have to be a straight piece. So let's grab that now. So we'll use this piece because it's got a nice little pattern on it. And then let's grab some cornerstones. Now they have to be the funky cornerstones. These ones. Like that. I have to do that. Yep, that's pretty much what I'm thinking. And then grab one of these. Continues through there, so yep. Then we need a cornerstone here. Just like that. So what I will do, so I know what I'm doing, I'll go and put the floors in. Where's my floor? Floor overlays, that's what we want. Oops. Oh, that's right, I've locked this layer. I've unlocked it. What are you doing? There we go. Took a moment for its little electronic brain to catch up. My poor old computer. Sometimes it needs to stop to think. It's probably sort of computing and going, my God, what's this guy getting me to do? What are these things? There we go. So that's what I'm thinking of doing there. And then I have rooms here, or a big room. So this could be like a melting pot of something. Some sort of alien reason why they have this. Have like a pool and dirt in it. Let's come back to our walls. Okay, so let's polish off over here. And we're going to need this one. Just like that. And then some, so a wall there. Just like that. And then some cornerstones. Yep, that one goes there, and just like that. So that's that doorway done. Oh, I need same thing here. Just like that. I'm gonna need one there. I will need one here and one here. Like that, and over the other bit there. Now, how am I going to do? So this brings you into the area. So I'm going to need something here. Actually, no, I'll do each of the corners. Got to get the corners done. So there. And then this piece goes into that corner, and I think we need a flat piece there. Let's grab this one. Pop it there. And this one. We'll pop that one there. Okay. So we're going to need some wall sections to cap off there and the other side. There we go. And then some cornerstones for the corner points of the walls. So I need this one. Goes in there, so I then need this piece to do the corner. There we go, that room's done. We'll need the... Oh, there we go, and then just one piece there, which can be this one. Just like that. So that's that corner done. I'll do the floor for it in a moment, and then I'll do here. Okay. So we need... Oh, here we go. Just like that. And then the next piece can do there. can do there. So I need another piece there, which can be this one. There we go. So let's put in the floor. Go to our floor section. Okay, so how am I doing? So I'm using those pieces, these pieces. Put it over there. Like so. There we go. So, oop, need to do this one. So, big squares. And fill in the corridors. Just like this. That for those sections. Now to work out how to do the rooms in the long edges. Let's pop back up to our walls. Necrotech walls. So these are the pieces I need. Drop out of our floor, back to our walls. So, what I might do might have a big double door here. Yeah. So like that, then I'll have to put these ones into the back of it, and then, okay, so these walls go like so. Then cap these. Yes, that's the one I want. Like that. But I have a funny feeling that when I design the large door overlay, yeah, that one is what I was thinking of using. It's actually made to go in a corridor, but we can use this one. Like that. So I'll pop that into our features. Then we turn it 9 degrees and put it there like that. So there's a big automatic door. So let's fill in the floor for this area. And I'll use these big sections. Like so. There we go. So I might do something similar over here. So back up to our walls. Here we go. So, pardon me. So these could be like big equipment rooms to service whatever's going on in here. And then we will need, yep, and then cap these wall sections. There we go. Just pop on these end caps, and then I'll put in another door like that. There we go. Yeah, so this map will be done. It'll be completed pretty soon, and then I'll upload it to my art assets folder. Oops, where am I going? Cornerstones. That's, oh no, doorways is what I was looking for. I need to put the door in. How city of me. So that is up here. Door overlays. So yeah, this adventure map should be available to download later this afternoon, after I've had a bit of lunch, because I end the stream about lunchtime. There we go. There's a door there. So if you want to get this this map, or any of the maps that I create during my Monday morning map builds, just join up to my community on Patreon. It is that simple. And then you get to enjoy all the crazy stuff I build. And what's more, you know, you'll be helping support my art addiction, creating bits, but also you'll be able to get behind the scenes information for the adventures that I am designing. I'm designing my own little adventure world. So that's that room completed. So let's jump out of there, jump back up to the walls and do... So I'm thinking of doing 2 little rooms up the top and bottom. But yeah, I'm building my own little adventure world called The Cube. It's a magical puzzle world, and it snatches up people from the multiverse and dumps them onto a giant puzzle world where you actually are in a maze, where the area between the walls of the maze is 20 miles, and the maze itself is, the maze walls are 20 miles high. So it is a gigantic puzzle to solve. It was built by very powerful magic users a very long time ago, and unfortunately they all wiped each other out. No one's really sure why, but there was some sort of civil war or something or other happened. They started fighting each other, and to get away from each other, they started building dungeons to protect themselves and their machines. So there's all these machines all over the world of the cube, and all of the a lot of the machines are still on. They're still active, which is how people end up being brought onto the world of the cube, because the machines are still running, and some of the machines are teleporters, and they just randomly pick up people from different worlds and plonk them unceremoniously onto the world of the cube. And that's how pardon me, that's how a lot of people end up being marooned on the world of the cube. Is you'll be asleep in your bed, snoozing away, and then you'll wake up and you're in a dungeon. You're out in a field. You're you're not where you were, and it's a bit of a bad nightmare. But you have to survive. You have to get on with it. You can't sort of just stand there, stamp your feet, and go, "I don't like this. I want my comfy bed," because nobody's listening. The world of the cube is a machine. It don't care. So put that there and this over here. So yeah, and I've made my first little mini adventure, which is basically an introduction to the world of the cube, where you are kidnapped and unceremoniously dumped into a malfunctioning teleporter hub, which was used by the wizards of long ago. But they're all dead now, so who knows why it's still running. But it picked you up, put you in the world of the cube, and you now have to get on with it. You can either decide to just try and make a life for yourself in the world of the cube, like so many others have, or you can join what is called the Great Quest. The Great Quest is it's a quest that a lot of our off-worlders who have just arrived on the cube go on, because if there's a machine that got you onto the cube, there has to be a machine that can get you off the cube, because obviously if you got there, you should be able to get off. So a lot of people who end up on the cube go on the Great Quest looking for the machine that, you know, maybe they could find the machine that got them onto the cube and reprogram it, or get it to, you know, send them home. Okay, so I think that's all my walls done. Now let's just plonk in the floor. There we go. So yeah, there'll be so in the current adventure, because I'm doing like an adventure path, so you can follow the adventure path, which is the Great Quest, or you can do your own little, you know, you can follow wherever you happen to go, because I'm chucking in a lot of, you know, hints and tips, a lot of plot hooks to little side quests, and not all the side quests are meaningless. I'm going to try and design it so that a lot of the side quests feed into the Great Quest, like they'll provide snippets of information, but essentially the side quests are not the main quests, so they're not really going to help you get home, but they will sort of fill in the blanks. You know, you'll go, like, there's one dungeon I've done at the moment called the what was it called? I think it's the Tomb of the Screaming Skull. So there is a skull of a necromancer, and he's actually one of the wizards. Well, this necromancer was one of the wizards who originally built the world of the cube. And and his tomb is very well known. His soul is imprisoned in his own skull. So he's effectively imprisoned in his own skull because he's a necromancer. He's not a necessarily nice guy. Now, if you go to his tomb, and a lot of people on the Great Quest will go to his tomb to ask his skull questions. And how you do it, there we go, so we're all done. How you do it is you hold his skull, and there's a magical mirror in the room where his skull is located. And you hold his skull, and then you look in the mirror. And if you're looking in the mirror, you can hear the skull speaking, and you can ask it questions. But there's a downside. He's as mad as a hatter. He's lost his marbles completely. So he's really upset that he's just a skull. So he spends a lot of time whinging about how his beautiful form, his beautiful body, his beautiful hair, all that stuff is now gone, and he's just a dried up old skull. But every now and then in his ravings, he does say something useful. He does give snippets about what happened during the creation of the world, and what happened during the fall. In previous history, with the creators of the world, they have ages which they sort of call them the first age of enlightenment and the second age of enlightenment, and they're actually periods between civil wars, because the wizards, you know, they build the world of the cube. They create a big society which researches magic, and I can tell you, no holds barred, no worry about human rights, animal rights, anything like that. Everything is on the books, because, you know, they made a world to get away from everyone, so they can just research whatever the heck they like. So I'm just going to save this map while I'm at it. There we go. So this is going to be rooms 4. Whoops. So yeah, come on. They made the entire world just so they can research magic and research it without anyone going, oh look, cutting that person's head open and examining their brain is kind of wrong. So they made a world where they can do it and get away with it. So they're not exactly nice people. So they have a lot of egomaniacs, and they have, they start out all pretty good. They have the first age of what they call the first age of enlightenment, where they spend several years studying magic, but they have a ruling council which is made up of lots of different wizards. But then backbiting comes in and backstabbing, and once some wizards think, oh, they should control everything instead of a council, and the first civil war kicks off, and then you've got wizard communities obliterating other wizard communities with all sorts of magical artifacts and spells and whatnot, and it's just horrible. And then eventually they have peace, and then they have the second age of enlightenment, where once again they're off researching magic and artifacts and all sorts of things, and no holes barred and the whole works. And then again somebody else comes along and go, I think I should be running the show, and it all goes to pot again. But then they do rebuild again. They have another age, which nobody really, because this is where things start to get murky, nobody really knows, or anyone who's left from that era really knows what kind of broke down, but they all get exterminated, completely and utterly wiped out, gone. No holds barred. It's a bloodbath, and it's really, really bad. But then the current societies, so years passed, years pass, and the current societies start to build up, because all the machines are still on, it's still teleporting people onto the world of the cube. Societies start to form. So the societies of today's world of the cube, which I base the adventure in, starts to form, but all of the stuff that's left behind is still going. But getting back to the original start of this, the necromancer stuck in the skull was there during all of this. He knows all of this, but because he's mad as a hatter, he won't just say this is what happened. He'll give snippets to it between crying about the fact that he's now just a skull. Poor guy. Okay, so I'm going to save a WebP of this map, because WebP has really good compression. And that should be it. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching me bumble through, build an adventure map, and rave on about whatever the heck I'm raving on about. But I will be back next Monday, hopefully with less dogs barking in the beginning of the live stream, and I'll build some more maps. If you want to get your hands on these adventure maps, join my Patreon. You can download them. I'll be uploading these this afternoon, but you can download them, and you can download the XCF files, which are the raw GIMP files. So you get, all the layers that you can play with. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that sort of jazz. Thank you very much.